morning to you, Grenada, and the rest of the world on this 4th day of December 2019. I'm George Grant saying, hey, welcome to the Wednesday edition of Gudday Grenada. My goodness. Ernesto is first, Osmond is second. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Well, what's new? As always, we got an interesting program for you. By the way, just came in from taking my usual morning look out there on the balcony. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. Now, I know that that's going to hurt those of you out there in North America who have begun to experience your wintry weather conditions. It's just a gorgeous day here. And we're thankful for that because there's a huge cruise ship came in here just a little while ago, the Aida Perla. Didn't grab any pictures for you, so I'm not going to show you any this morning, but they're in for a nice day. I imagine several of the attractions here will be pretty busy today. So there you have it. Let's see who else is on here on social media before we get into the rundown. Anthea, hello Anthea. Hello Chester. Good morning Kipling. Good morning Joan Wellington. Good to see you guys. T.F. Richard says, I'm driving through the mountains of Maryland, so I'm only listening today. Keep your eyes on the road, sir. Fitzroy Adams, good morning. Benedict and his wonderful Wednesday. Boy, let me tell you, indeed, it is a wonderful Wednesday morning. So much to be thankful for, eh? Yeah. We're breathing. A lot of people didn't make it through the night. Hola, Margaret. I should turn that into a sort of calypso, you know, like Harry Belafonte. Margaret Belafonte. Wishful thinking. Bernard Gilbert is there, and she's also telling TF to drive safely. Keep your eyes on the road, man. Don't get caught by the state troopers this morning. Carlene Vespre is saying good morning, George. Well, good morning to you too, Carlene. Nice to see you. Folks, let's take a look at the rundown. We have, let's see here. 4 things I got for you this morning. 4 things. First of all, we're going to begin with the editorial, which appears in today's edition of the Grenada Advocate. Now, you know that we usually read their editorial on a Sunday morning. And I thought this was interesting enough to share with you this morning in light of all the talk that's been going on around this place. It is about the media. The Grenada Advocate takes a turn on the media, or they take on the media in their editorial this week. And just in case you missed it this morning, you'll be hearing it again on Sunday. So that's where we're going to get started this morning. Then, Poochie, Pooh. What's that all about? I think the whole world already knows that I am a lover of dogs. And I came across a very, very short video. So short, I think I'm probably going to run it by you twice this morning, just in case you didn't grasp it the first time. But I'm also very sure that it's going to put a smile on your face this morning. Dogs are so cute, and they do the darndest things. They really, really do. And that's why I love them so much. And you know, there seems to be no limit to the love that they give. Yeah, we got some pretty harsh dogs out there. They'll bite you, eat you. But the ones I like, and by the way, if you happen to find one like this little one you're about to see this morning, please let me know. May change my mind about getting another Pooch. I have been a dog lover all my life, but after, let me see, I think it was about 12, 13 years ago, I had to put one of mine to sleep, Brandy. I think everybody knows about Brandy. You probably see a picture of her on my Facebook page. That's my, my main photo on my Facebook page. And I swore that I would never, never have another dog. It's really painful having to put one of those kids to sleep. It's like putting your child to sleep. And when I say sleep, I don't mean, no, I mean, finito. Well, this Pooch is making me think seriously about having another dog. Yeah. Yes, we do have the national report for you this morning. And then Sherron spoke to Sherron just a few minutes ago. Right now, she's out running an errand. But she's going to be joining us very shortly, okay? And don't know what she has up her sleeve, but I got a couple of things I'd like her to take on for me this morning. Before I get into the first piece this morning, let me get back here to social media for just a wee bit and see who day and who do day this morning. Anthony the Riggs is saying good morning all, back in New York with enough sunshine to combat the cold. Thanking all who made my stay in Grenada so wonderful. Anthony, I hope you got the message I sent to you while you were sitting at the airport yesterday. Yes, sirree, Anthony has gone back home to face old man winter. Good for you, fella. I'd like to hear about the date for your upcoming publication. He's at it again. He's writing again. And he's promised that he's going to be talking with us when he's ready. Take your time, do a fantastic job as you've always done, bringing back memories of our childhood. So Anthony is there. Where have I gone? Yeah. Carlene Vesper is saying good morning again. Good morning, Carlene. Arthur Langine. Hello, Arthur. What's in the garden today? Now that it's starting to get cold, have you moved your garden to the inside? Or has it always been there? This man loves to play with the soil. You should see the stuff he's been producing, at least over the past months that I've been following up on Facebook. John Nosinek is saying, Habari ya asubushi to one and all. What the hell is that? We're going to find out, I guess. He says, by the way, that's good morning in that's good morning in Swahili. You're never too old to learn. Absolutely, John. Swahili? What the heck else do you speak, fella? And where'd you learn that? Habari ya asubishi. Oh, asubihi. Asubuhi. Never mind, John, never mind. Bradley Vesper is saying, good morning, George. Ryan Jabon, good morning from sunny Orlando. It's 48 degrees and bright and sunny. Yep, we are dog people indeed. Ryan is another puppy lover. Ryan. I haven't heard you talking about yours much lately, but I felt like I knew the previous puppy you had. I don't remember his name now, but nice dog. Margaret Francis is saying, sure right about what, Mags? Michelle Forsythe saying, good morning all. Bernadette Thomas Alexis saying, good morning, George Grant. Yay, good morning, Bernadette Thomas Alexis. Joan Wellington says, thank you, Mr. Grant, always listening to your program. Very educating. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. She says, I learn a lot by listening. I have been on this years now. Thank you, Joan. I hope you'd spread the word. Bernadette Thomas says, the weather is cold. We got some snow, Toronto, Canada. Yeah, it's that time of the year, man. That time of the year. You know, one thing I miss, getting into snowball fights. When I lived in Toronto, every winter, when the first snowfall came, I would find the nearest school and get into a snowball fight with kids. Love throwing snowballs. Love throwing snowballs. Ryan Jabon says he moved his potted golden apple plant. Golden apples. I didn't know they grew golden apples in the United States. Actually, I had one this morning, Ryan. I love that stuff. Green or ripe. Oh, Ryan is saying that the name of his dog was Jay. Yeah. Nice Pooch. Nice Pooch. Gone to rest. Okay, pilgrims. Okay. So, let's get down to business here this morning on a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning here in the Spicear. As I mentioned to you, we're going to begin with a piece which is published today in the Grenada Advocate. It is captioned, Need for Responsible Journalism. The media strives to inform, educate the public, and address matters of public interest. Far too often, local and international media practitioners practice an additional doctrine, that of sensationalism, to remain relevant and to keep the audience tuning in for the next installment. Having to fill print space, airtime, or broadband content is no easy feat. And the more exciting the news, the more it guarantees continued patronage. This is even more apparent in the age of social media, as shrinking attention to traditional news may make traditional media outlets feel that they have to keep pace by any means necessary with social media. The downside to that is a level of inaccuracy recorded in a rush to scoop the competition and the feeling impressed on the average person that the world has gone mad with the latest episode of shootings, beheadings, killings, rampaging, etc. The occurrences on the day must be reported faithfully and accurately. No doubt about that. But if the negative events are the ones highlighted or repeated ad nauseum, forsaking actual positive events that have occurred, a distinct bias is created towards the observer becoming more disillusioned with the state of world affairs. And when the narrative is being shaped and molded by the very news entities that should retain their credibility, observers realize that in journalism, some do not match the level of responsibility expected of the profession. It is incumbent then for the media to shine its spotlight on the good in equal measure as it does the negative. And by that token, truly reflect what is happening in the country and provide a balanced view. More than that, that type of heartening news cycle can help to inspire future humanitarians into doing the good that can be done. If we in the media hope to show that we truly care about our communities and nations, we must do so in a way that not only educates, but inspires our audience to be the change we all want to see. We must not let cynicism blind us to the real moments of humanity rising to its best. Yes, even in the face of the rise of citizen journalism due to the proliferation of personal opinions captured by the internet age, where tweets, blogs, posts, and emails are changing reporting in a way never seen before. More so than ever, the media should not pander to the lowest denominator to sate the public. News outlets must know they are responsible for shaping public opinion and are needed to separate fiction from fact. It has been a challenging year to date, and some violent situations have left us aghast. Those must be focused on and perpetrators brought to justice as soon as possible. However, there are positive people who are making a difference in our society, whose heartwarming campaigns and work should be commended and highlighted. Media practitioners must practice a responsible journalism that is a benchmark by which the profession is measured and judged. We would do well to give equal time to the thousands of people locally and worldwide making an inspiring difference. Hey, pilgrims, check it out. Get a copy of the Grenada Advocate today. That is their editorial. And by the way, you're going to hear this again on Sunday morning, okay? Now, let's see here. 16 minutes after the hour. Wow. Okay. Let me get back to social media. Finger burn from snowball fights. Ouch. Yes, I know what you're talking about, John. Bernadette says, I love the snow, but not the freezing rain. Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more. Chris Davies says, morning from the north, just seen Uncle Tilly's challenge to the media on Facebook. I agree with him. Happening everywhere, unfortunately. Yeah, Uncle Tilly has been, that's been a sore point for him for a long time. Michelle Forsyth says, bravo, Advocate. The good and the bad must be brought to the attention of the public. Thanks, George and Grenada Broadcast, for attempting to do just that. Thank you very much, Michelle. And thank you guys for helping. John says, read the media. Too much negative and bad news. Desensitize the public in many ways. Margaret Francis says, good issues raised in the editorial, and it also points to the conundrum media practitioners face in making news decisions. Yeah, you know, and when it comes to social media, folks, all of us, every one of us has to be careful, because some stuff appears on social media, and there's some of you, because it sort of feeds your personal views, you rush and you publish it, spread it all over the place, without checking to see if it's factual. I'm a big supporter of social media, but it's also something that really turns me off big time. Not social media itself, but the people who abuse it. Enough said. Now, take a look at this little puppy. Ryan, last night when I pulled out this piece, I thought about you. This ain't no Jay. But I want you guys to take a look at this. It's very, very brief. Just a couple of seconds, right? Take a look at this and have a quick laugh. Cute, 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 cute. Want to say it again? Watch this. I thought that was so funny. I really thought that was so funny. Okie doke, folks. I'll tell you what, let's take a little break here and then we'll come on back and get started with the National Report.
Why wish upon a star, for bright is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, will give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Core Bank and you.
Welcome home.
Christmas safety tips. Always unplug Christmas tree lights before leaving home or going to sleep. Check your tree lights and outdoor lights for damage each year before you use them. Discard lights with frayed wires, loose connections, and cracked sockets. Do not overload your wall outlets or extension cords. Remind children never to touch lights or outlets. Select lights appropriately. Never use indoor lights outside or vice versa. Happy holidays from Grenada.
Because your vehicle is a necessity, being roadworthy is critical. Hubbard's Motor Department introduces its new tire and battery sales and service outlet located at Building Supplies Compound in Grandans, close to the Sugar Mill Roundabout. Available are a wide range of competitively priced tires, maintenance-free batteries, oils and lubricants. Keeping in mind your busy schedule, this outlet is equipped to provide you with fast and reliable service. Simply drive in and you'll be delighted with your service experience. For more information, contact 440-2087. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Okay, just before I fire up the national report, there's some comments that came in here, and I want to share them with you. Ryan Jaban says, admittedly, there is media amplification, but we need active media practitioners in a democracy. Mr. Tillman Thomas is spot on. You know, I have not seen the comments made by Mr. Thomas. I'm going to check them out. And Ryan has a good laugh at that little video I played with a puppy a little while ago. Joan Wellington says, I listened to the briefing with Mr. Thomas and Claudette and was so disappointed when I heard a reporter say to Mr. Thomas that she heard NBC was behind the Al Jazeera report. This didn't come from Grenada, and it never called one prime minister's name. It said Caribbean government. You know, Joan, that is the mentality that sits in the hearts of a lot of media people. Shameful, shameful. Margaret Francis says, John, unfortunately, it's not always an easy decision to make when you're sitting in the newsroom. Mags has been there, she understands. I think how these stories are reported make a difference, absolutely. John wants to know, he's referring to that little puppy I played a little while ago, is she going to rob a bank? It looks that way, eh? Sharon just came in a couple of minutes ago. I wanted to see this video, so I'm going to play it again a little later on. But yeah, the dog looks like a bank robber. honest to goodness. Poor dog. Joan Wellington says, it's so sad that some people are looking at a big yellow ripe banana and saying it's red because someone told them it's red. That's the problem here, my friend Joan. Margaret says, there have been multiple allegations blaming NDC for the report. It's a fair question Mr. Thomas could choose to answer or not answer the question. Okay, folks, here comes your national report, and then we'll get to Sharon.
significant increase in the budget to construct emergency shelters in Grenada and Carriacou. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, December 3rd, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. A significant increase in the budget to construct an emergency shelter and warehouse on both the mainland and in Carriacou. During deliberations on the 2020 budget, Minister with responsibility for disaster management, Senator Winston Garraway, said the budget offered for construction moved from 2.4 to 6.5 million US dollars. The U.S. Southern Command Humanitarian Assistance Program will provide grant funding of $3.9 million US to construct the emergency shelter and warehouse in Grenada and $2.6 million for Carriacou.
We came before and we spoke of such a facility. But the budget that was presented was $2.4 million US dollars. But when the RFP was done and we decided the size of the building we wanted and the equipment, the communication equipment we desired, when the RFP came back, it's almost tripled the budget that was offered. And we made a representation back to the U.S. Southern Command and said to them, there is an expectation in this country by the people to receive these facilities, and we cannot disappoint them. And I was happy when the information came back to me and said, Minister, the new budget has been approved. So we moved from 2.4 million US to 6.5 million US to build those facilities.
The contract has been awarded to Naval Facility Command Engineering. Work is to begin early in the new year with a handover date of March 31st, 2021 for Grenada and 1 month earlier for Carriacou. The government of Grenada will continue to invest in increasing large-scale production among small poultry farmers. Deliberating on the 2020 budget on Monday, Sports Minister Senator Nolan Cox said more will be done to construct facilities and provide the technology that can match up to the demands of producing on a larger scale.
We can do 10,000 birds, but if you're not able to manage the environment and the farmer goes one morning and you lose like 200-300, that's his profit right there. So if we do not have the facility to match the demand and the development that we want to do in poultry, we are going to remain behind. We have to invest in those things. We have to invest to do it on a large scale. So a lot of work is before us, Mr. President.
Senator Cox says 2019 has seen a reduction in the importation of chicken by 2.5%, which is good news for local poultry farmers. He says the importation reduction is a step in the right direction as Grenadians can now focus on the consumption of locally grown, healthier meat.
300,000 less pounds of poultry meat have been imported for 2019. So our local producers have been able to augment that, and we want to commend them for that. While it's a drop in the bucket, Mr. President, it's a step in the right direction.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Did you join the public service on or after February 22nd, 1985 and have since retired? This might be important to you. Government understands that the NIS pension may be insufficient to take care of your needs. So, while it awaits the court's ruling on the matter of pension for public officers, government has taken action to protect your quality of life so that you can take care of your needs in the meantime. Persons who joined the public service on or after February 22nd, 1985 and served continuously in an established position for a minimum 26 years and 8 months and retired at age 60 may be eligible to receive an advance payment, which when combined with NIS represents 70% of their last salary. For more information, call or visit the Pension Secretariat in the Department of Public Administration, Ministerial Complex, 440-3767.
Continuing the news, the Ministry of Legal Affairs is putting measures in place to reduce backlogged cases in 2020. Senator Katisha Williams, an attorney by profession, says 2019 has been a challenging year for the justice system in the country, ranging from the backlog of cases and files at the court registry to the relocation and retrofitting of a temporary location after it was moved from the Lime building on the Carnage. She says 2020 will be a more successful year as they implement programs and methods to strengthen the judicial system. In September 2019, High Court judges were assigned to reduce the backlog of cases.
4 High Court judges have been permanently assigned to the jurisdiction. The Ministry is hopeful that in 2020, the increase in personnel in judicial officers will result in a steady reduction of this backlog.
She says going forward, new methods and systems will be adopted to ensure a more stable and efficient system.
Implementation of the second phase of the digitization of KIPO, appointment of an intellectual property committee as the first phase of the Grenada's intellectual property strategy, review of the fee structure for registration of companies and business names with the objective to make it comparable to other OECS countries, implementation of the Patent Act and the enactment of the Geographical Indication Bill, implementation of the Interviewing of Suspects for Serious Crimes Act 2014, which allows video and audio recordings of interrogations, and continued efforts to reduce the backlog of matters within the court system and in general, the more seamless functioning of the judicial system.
Refocusing the Ministry of Agriculture in accordance with plans outlined in the 2020 budget. That was the main thrust of a recent 2-day retreat that involved the ministry's senior officers. Details in this report by Karima Lewis, the Public Relations Officer.
With strategic presentations on key focus areas geared at propelling the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands forward in the year 2020, the annual Senior Management Retreat was deemed a success. Department heads and selected members of staff were brought together in a 2-day seminar-like session and shared in presentations and discussions as they refocus efforts of implementation in accordance with the 2020 budget allocation for agriculture. Youth in agriculture, entrepreneurship in agriculture, and enhancement of the source of industry were some of the worthy mentions coming out of the retreat. Being part and parcel of the 2-day event was Permanent Secretary Elvis Moraine. He speaks on the objective of the event held recently at the National Stadium.
It came on the backdrop of the budget preparation and our rate of implementation, and we thought it was necessary for us to pool our senior management team as well as some selected officers to really delve into how we would want to see our implementation being done in 2020. So today basically we are going to look at the vote that is with Ministry of Agriculture, the allocation there. We are going to come up with a proper plan, an implementation plan as well as a cash flow focus, so that we can properly timetable our activities next year and we can have proper implementation.
The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture, ICA, has been instrumental in many of the successes spoken about in the industry. ICA's national specialist, Derek Charles, was part of the event and recounts what stood out most for him.
The implementation of certain plans will not be done like in silos, but people are going to come together and work to the benefit of the agriculture sector on a whole. There are a number of things that I learned here that are critical to the development of the agriculture sector in terms of the plans and projects. One of those things is the modality in which they should approach the work, meaning that they should be aligned to the different goals. For example, the medium-term agenda, the Sustainable Development Goal, and the Sustainable Development Plan. And the second part of it is the actual rolling out of those plans. How do they go about planning so it can fit into the different developmental goals, sustainable plans, and the like.
Chief Veterinary and Livestock Officer Dr. Kimon Cummins explains the importance of such a session to the new faces of the ministry.
It's a good learning experience for, I would say, for the young persons that actually just joined the ministry as to how to develop a proper work plan and what's the expectations as we move forward in terms of implementation and how things normally operate, so that we don't end up in the same problems as previous years where you have certain programs that probably stood back on the back burner because persons would have done other things apart from what's really in the work plan.
Supervisor of the Northern Agricultural District, Maximus Lazarus, is optimistic that this could be a new turning point for the sector.
Very good retreat. I think it gives a platform, a takeoff for a new beginning, for a new scope, to have things organized. Because sometimes when you evaluate what has been happening in the past, it's not the way it should be in terms of implementation of projects as such. So that two-day workshop was a very good beginning to start for the going forward, the way you could implement projects and make an impact on the agriculture sector.
For the Ministry of Agriculture, I am Karima Lewis.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Alec, we're starting work on the house soon, and I'll need your help.
Sure. What do you need?
I got a service application checklist from Grenlec's website.
This looks easy.
It is. We need a new service.
That's option A.
So wherever there's an A, that's something we must do in order to get the service.
So the other things without an A don't apply?
Exactly. The checklist shows us what documents to bring, the fees, and how soon we'll get the service.
So that you realize for all services, we must complete the right application form, have a valid photo ID, and a certificate from the electrical inspector?
That's right. The electrician will help us apply to the ministry for a certificate of inspection. So we'll use the checklist to get everything we need before going to Grenada. This will make the process smooth and save lots of time.
Okay, might as well get started.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Can I have a chicken lunch, please? Large.
Real nice today.
I don't want that.
But you just asked for a chicken lunch.
I don't have problem with the lunch. Afraid the container.
What is the problem with it?
These styrofoam containers, they don't good for the environment. They shorten with life.
What foolishness you telling me? So what you want me to use?
Put my food in this.
Where you get that?
At the food fair, where you could get all biodegradable food boxes and disposable food supplies like cups, plates, anything you could think about. Name it, it's there. And they don't harm the environment. Food fair, taking the lead in cleaning up and protecting the environment. Hey, like you take me advice, you get in your biodegradable food supplies.
Well, girl, I supporting who's supporting the environment. That is why I shop in at food fair.
Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. Products distributed by Hubbard's agency, Kirani James Boulevard.
Why wish upon a star, for a bright
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Okie dokie, folks. What time is it? It's 19 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Good morning. Take a look. There she is, Miss St. Paul's.
Yeah.
Hello, Sherron. How are you?
I am very good.
You're very good.
Yes.
Still wearing your brace?
Yes, but I'm still good.
All right. Sherron, we have a lot to talk about this morning, girl, but as always, I'm going to be a gentleman and say, okay, what's up your sleeve this morning?
Well, this morning, first thing I had to do was allocate Christmas cakes and plan what next at my house and what's happening in PM and stuff like that. But it's cleaning, you know, Christmas, cleaning, sprucing up, dressing up. Yeah.
Yeah. Folks, just in case you think she is kidding, hold on, let me get rid of that Sherron graphic there. Get rid of that Sherron graphic. Go, Sherron graphic, go. Take a look. She walked in here this morning. Hello, George, good morning. Christmas cake.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, love and light. Thank you, Sherron. So I bet I'm among the first to be sampling Christmas cake. Yeah.
Well, you know, my family is huge. And I have some brothers who apparently they just love my Christmas cake. So I make sure that I bake early so they go off to the US.
Now, with such a big chunk of cake, I am assuming that you are assuming that this will last until Christmas.
Well,
don't assume that, Sherron.
You know, that cake has been marinating and soaking and being fed for a whole year.
Uh-huh.
So go easy. It's on the strong side. It's not overwhelming, you know. But
I will know that I've had your cake.
Yes. And guess what? I started soaking from yesterday. As one batch finish, I start feeding I have a big giant a demijohn.
Okay.
That I start already for next year, God's willing.
Already for next year?
Yeah.
So the stuff that I'm going to be eating here, starting when I get off here.
That was 5 pounds of cake. So there's 15 cakes. So that's enough for the year. The only baking I have to do now is bread, and one brother likes plain cakes.
Listen.
So.
Listen. Ryan Jabon says, black cake.
Yep.
Lucky George. Eat your heart out, Ryan. Hold on. John says, yep. You can tell it's Christmas soon because of the smell of fresh paint everywhere.
Yes, it's true.
Any paint in here?
No.
No. Okay.
I painted last week. No painting this week.
All right. Now get this. My big mouth friend has to come in here with her advice. Margaret Francis.
Yes.
Big mouth, I love you. That's why I feel free to call you Big Mouth. She says, now George, go easy and just savor it, okay?
That's exactly what I told him, Mags. Go easy.
Ryan says, oh, it's a rum cake. Chester Simon says, just is in Switzerland. Do you ship to Switzerland?
No.
Says,
it goes as far as England.
It goes as far as England.
Yeah.
Not far away. He says, save some for me. John says, Sherron, be careful. You must declare all foodstuffs when entering the USA.
They're declared.
They're
They're declared.
They're declared. So yes, we know that you've been preoccupied preparing for Christmas and all of that.
But I'm listening and I'm hearing what's going on in Grenada and in the Caribbean.
Sad, eh?
Yep.
To believe that, I mean, we were once the apple in the eyes of the world. And look at what's happening to us here. 2 days from now, elections in Dominica.
And that is terrible. I know Dominica, that's one of the places I visit very often. So it's sad to see what's happening in Dominica. But you would find that the people must have said enough is enough and decide to stand against corruption. And I'm not saying that will happen to Grenada soon, but one day Grenadians will wake up and realize that corruption has taken over. Victimization and corruption has taken over. And that's just sad because this place is so beautiful.
You know something I really admire about Grenada, despite what we've been going through, we have been peaceful. Look at how the people in Dominica are reacting. They're ticked off. And they're letting people
you know, they just about had enough. I listened to your program on Thursday night. And the gentleman from Dominica, when you listen to him, you're like in shock, like, wow. Grenada is still the most peaceful place that I know. You know, I remember one of the charges saying, you need to market Grenada as a safe place. And it's true. No matter the little issues they have, Grenada is still very safe. And we would like to keep it that way.
Yeah. Well, so far, God's been really good to us. And we have not become violent, but I'm scared when I see what's going on in the neighborhood.
Well, we have to see if maybe we can get the courts to work with us.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would, I mean, I'm not a lawyer or anything, so I don't know.
Do you believe that our court system is still as free as it ought to be?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. You have to have faith in something. And if you can't have faith in the court system, then all fall down.
Yeah.
You have to have faith in something.
John Franco here says, when you keep hitting a dog, it will bite.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, concerned about that.
You see, when last election, my reaction was, oh God, all you thief all? You could have thief some and leave some. At least let us have an opposition. If you really love the country, you have to have some kind of accountability. Everything in Grenada in that aspect has gone crazy. You're doing your own thing, you're saying your own thing, you're lying, you're thieving. I mean, give us a break.
Ryan says here, there were threats of the Dominica army being released on the people.
Oh, jeez, you.
You know, Sharon, the election's 2 days from today.
Is it true that the regional security services went up?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I saw that somewhere, but I'm not sure if it's true.
Yeah. All right. Just keep Dominica in our prayers.
We have to.
Now, do you have water this morning?
Yes, I have. I've had water for maybe the last week, constant.
Maybe
with
the
a
last
nice.
week.
Yeah, because in St. Paul's, you never know. We went through a phase where water goes like about, by the time I get back from the beach, there's no water. So many days I go to the beach and I spend the whole day with the salt on me until God help us about 1 o'clock in the morning, you hear the pipe spitting and you have to get up and full stuff. And by 5 o'clock, it's gone again, you know? But for the last week, we've had water 24/7. It goes very, very low about 10 o'clock, from 10 to 1, and then come back full service. So I've been able to do all my washing and stuff.
Well, my dear, The reason why I asked is because since yesterday I have not had a drop of water in my tap.
And when it comes back, you'll get mud.
Well, before it went, I got mud. Actually, I referred to it as coffee. Big coffee drinker. But this coffee has been making me sick. And yesterday, I went shopping big time for bottled water. I stocked up. Because I mentioned on the air yesterday that I've just been burping a lot. I feel it's like indigestion or some sort of discomfort on my chest. And also the bowels have started working overtime. And I'm hearing from a lot of people that people have been going to hospital.
Yes, I know of quite a few people who have gone to the hospital and even had to stay overnight. I know one family, 3 of them had to travel on Monday, had to be taken into hospital Sunday night, Sunday evening, and was there for the whole night. And by the time they were discharged, of course, they missed their flight Monday morning and had to buy new tickets to travel yesterday.
See?
So
yesterday when I was speaking with Ray about the water situation, Ray was strongly in defense of Nawasa. And that's fine, because I believe that Nawasa has, by and large, served the country fairly well. But we are having a nasty spell. On Friday, apparently there were 4 broken mains or whatever in St. George alone. St. George's, okay? Then on top of that, on the weekend, my neighbor down the street here came here to do her laundry. I had water, she didn't. Now, I don't have any water. Yesterday and today. That's fine. You know that there are going to be outages from time to time. They're not perfect. What bugs the hell out of me, folks, is when I start getting sick. That bothers me. I mean, could you imagine belching or burping all day?
yeah,
That drives me nuts.
I have a machine that purifies my water, so that's what I drink. I don't drink water straight from the tap. I cannot drink water straight from the tap. We buy water because my husband can't drink the tap water. You know, so, and a lot of people really, they think it's gastro, but I think it's the water.
Ryan says, Sharon, do you catch free rainwater in those big black tanks? Gigi's bottled water will prevent hospitalization. Yeah, bottled water will also make you broke.
I do not use the big black tanks because I had an issue with cancer and I was told never to use it. So I do not use the big black tanks. I actually contacted somebody recently to build a stainless steel tank for me. So I do not use. If you take your finger and you scrape inside the black tanks, you will what come off will really put you off. Of course.
Wow.
It would put you off drinking that. Well, you can't drink that water. Even if you catch that water, you should use it for washing or something, not for.
You know, I mentioned yesterday that when I lived in Tantine, I used to have to boil water all the time. You could not put anything on your lips without boiling it. Well, when I moved up here, in February will be 6 years since I moved in here, I was able to drink water from the tap without boiling it.
No.
And I felt happy.
I cannot take that chance.
Well, now this thing has just turned me off completely. Anyway, I just hope they resolve it. Yesterday, I also asked Ray on the air about whatever happened to the $125 million that we got from the Green Climate Fund. Okay? Because I have a videotape which shows the Prime Minister giving a breakdown of how it's going to be spent on water here and water there and water everywhere. Well, I received a WhatsApp from one of our viewers late yesterday saying to me, George, all you need to do is take a look just across the street from you
Yes.
to see what they're doing with $125 million. And my response was, yes, to do some work across the street, $125 million? No. The breakdown I got from the Prime Minister, it's on video, and maybe one of these days I'll have to play it, but it was that there are several areas around the island that were going to be addressed.
And George, you believe that? You told me last week you didn't believe in Santa Claus. You believe that?
Okay, so I lied.
You are funny.
I'm sorry. Nah, it's sad. It's sad. But
you remember your mother telling you, take that with a pinch of salt?
Yeah.
These days you have to take it with a kilo of salt.
Margaret says, yes, Sharon, I heard that about black tanks and also those black plastic shopping bags you get in the supermarket.
That's right. You know, in 2003, I had surgery. I had an issue with throat cancer and used to go every 4 months to Trinidad for radioactive therapy. And the first thing my doctor said to me, do you have a microwave oven? I said, no. I said, so I then asked him why. And he said, I would ask you to get rid of it, throw it away. Don't give it to anybody. Never use a microwave. I do not own. I don't think I ever used one before. I would see it in somebody's house. I remember at work, I see people using it and they ask me, how do you eat food cold from the fridge? I rather eat food cold from the fridge than to put it in a microwave.
I've heard that warning before. I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret says, Sharon, I heard that about black tanks and also those black plastic shopping bags that you get in the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I don't use them unless I lie in a bin with them to put stuff straight in the garbage. I don't use them.
Ernesto says, why the people don't use the blue barrels we send home to store the rainwater?
I think some people, actually somebody in St. Paul's told me that the husband actually used a tap. I don't know how he did it, but they used a barrel and he put a tap so you could use a tap in the bottom to get the water. I don't know how he did that, but...
Ryan says, agreed, the black tanks may be toxic. On our October 2018 visit home to Grenada, we only consumed bottled water.
Yeah.
You know, I drink a lot of water, a lot. And as I mentioned yesterday on the air, I could be broke just buying bottled water, because they ain't cheap nowadays.
But I have a machine that turns water into alkaline water, and I fill up, you know, the big blue bottle that holds about a gallon, a gallon and a half. And that's how I know the amount of water I drink for the day.
Okay.
I drink one of that every day. Sometimes I put in spices and so in it. But we, in my household, will not drink water from the tap.
Some blue barrels are food compliant, says John.
Yes, there's a sign in the bottom. If it has a triangle, I think there's like a triangle. It's
sort of
like
label?
3.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a sign in the bottom that shows that you can use it for water.
Okay. Ryan says, tell us more about the microwave ovens.
Well, just go online and check the dangers of using a microwave oven.
Okay. Margaret says, yeah, Sharon, you just put a hole in and attach the tap. People do that all the way.
I guess you have to know what you're doing, because the pressure of the water could blow it out if you didn't do it properly.
Okay.
So.
Okay, Sharon, before we pull the plug, did you hear the editorial that I read this morning about, it was an editorial from the Grenada Advocate, it's in their paper today, the Grenada Advocate, about the media?
No.
They are asking for the media to be more responsible. You know, when reporting, report the facts and stop sensationalizing things.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and especially the Advocate, because that means that it was written out of Barbados. Because you read the Grenada Advocate, and you think it's another arm of the NNP. I don't know what happened. My first profession was a teacher, and then I became a journalist. I was a member of MWAG, and I don't know what happened to MWAG now.
Are they still around?
I heard on another radio station just last week that they had elections on Saturday. They
This
were
past
due
Saturday?
to have election last Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that happened or what happened, but I don't know what to say about the media in Grenada these days. The reality is they're so biased.
We've lost our way.
I remember saying to the Prime Minister after the last election, it was when they were in, not the last election, the one before that, when they installed the Governor General, at the event where they did that. She is our cousin, so we end up at that event. And I said to him, I said, you're a real smart boy. He said, what to do? I said, you have your belly. I said, but I agree with you. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. When I saw some of the media people he had in his circle, some of them fell along the way. But I don't know what happened to them. All of a sudden, all the majority of Grenada's media has become so biased, so one-sided, and they cannot think for themselves. Nobody investigate anything. It's a case of whatever press release you send, that is what they do. They're not investigating and see if it's true or what went before that to cause this and what may happen if that's lazy media. That's happening these days. I'm ashamed of the Grenada media.
Well, you know, boy, I find myself in an awkward situation because I get lambasted regardless. There are people who say that I'm always adverse to the government. There are people who blame me for being too supposedly pro-government. So it's nice to be caught in the middle. I mean, take a look at this very program you're looking at. I give the government 15 minutes of my time every day. These guys don't spend one diddly squat with me, 1 cent with me. But I give them 15 minutes every day.
But that is good. When one accuses you of supporting the other and the other accuses you of supporting the next, it means you're doing your work. I was told that by Ambassador Bullen one time.
But then doesn't that mean that the people who are laying those accusations, they are the problem?
They're the problem.
Thank you.
You know, and I always tell them, I speak my mind. I say it as it is, and I speak the truth. If you do something that's worthy of my praise, you get it. And if you don't, I'll lambaste you. And if you don't like it, fire me. I don't work with nobody. So none of them can fire me. They don't put bread in my mouth and they can't take it out. So I don't bother with them.
Well, I don't know.
George, I'm the happiest woman in the whole of Grenada.
Yeah. Margaret says, I did a project in Grenada in 1993 and the newsrooms were release-driven then, and it still hasn't changed.
You know something I wanted to touch on this week, that when Mag says she did something in 1993, I did a piece a couple of years ago, and it took a lot of investigating. And I call it Love in a Barrel. And it had to do with these children who live with their grandparents and their auntie, and their parents go to the US and never came back and can't come back because if they come back, then they can't go back into the US. And they would send the latest sneakers and the latest clothes and everything to see how much they love the kid. But the reality is they don't know how badly their children are being treated, what is the effect on the child being gone, or they being gone out of the child's life. You have no real love. Love on the phone, love in a barrel. And I'm seeing now a lot of effect. You watch some of the young men who are ending up in prison, and you check their background. Parents gone, never turn back. They're with auntie, they're with uncle. I saw something in social media the other day of a young girl who fought off her aunt's brother. They didn't say her uncle, they say her aunt's brother. He tried to rape her and she fought him off and thing. And the aunt gave her such a beating. It was making the circle on social media. And I told the person that posted, I said, contact the police, contact social services. They laughed at me. They said, we did, nothing happened.
Exactly. Caught between a rock and a hard place.
And then you ask yourself, okay, so when the child go to social media, let's say she told a teacher and they go that way. What are you doing with this poor child? Where you putting her? Her parents are in the US, they can't come back, she can't go to them.
Are you aware that there have been some studies done or on what has been termed barrel children in Trinidad and Tobago? Margaret is asking that question.
Well, not in Trinidad, but when I did, the program I did was in 2002. And that was through Mr. Webb at the time had Caribbean News Service. And I worked with Caribbean News Service. And we went into, it was Dominica, St. Vincent, and Grenada. That was the 3 islands we looked at the time. No, I haven't seen anything from Trinidad on barrel children.
Okay.
But I called, my piece was called Love in a Barrel.
She says, but migration has had a tremendous impact on the whole family structure in the region.
That is true. That is so true. The young man from Martinique who he's now sitting in the prison, who killed somebody, the first murder in Martinique a couple of weeks ago. His mother left when he was a baby. He doesn't know her. He doesn't know his father. Grew up with his aunt and his grandmother.
Ryan says, too right, Sharon. Leaving your children at home with family and going to a foreign country deranges the children. Mag says, academic studies have been done in Trinidad. Okay, Mags, thanks. Okay, folks, I think we need to pull the plug here.
Yeah.
Gone over time again. You guys don't mind. You love to see shit. Let me drink some of my bottled water, please. I'm getting thirsty. Okay. Sharon, that's going to do it for this Wednesday morning. Thank you very much for the black cake. I'll do my darndest to see if it can last until Friday.
Okay. Friday?
Well,
you mean
come on.
like
Give me E for
today's
effort.
Wednesday and Friday?
Yeah.
No, George.
Come on, this is only about 2 pounds of cake.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
Reward yourself with a slither at the end of the day.
And Margaret, you were not asked for any comments. Shush, please. Just watch. Just watch. Just watch. I'm anxious to at least taste it. I could
Go ahead and taste
start
it.
with
It's
a
good.
teaspoon.
It's good.
Sonia Matherin Scott says, true and so sad. Ryan says, thank you, Gigi and Sharon, for an informative program. Blessings. Okay. I was just waiting to see if Mags would cost me. I'm getting kind of used to her, you know, but when she's not around, I really, really miss her.
Yes.
That's somebody, you always know what's on her mind. You don't
Whenever
have to
I
wonder.
join your program during the week and I don't see her, I said, oh, I wonder what's happening with Margaret today.
Yeah, sometimes she just want to see, you really miss me? She's that kind of person.
Yeah.
Here she is. She says, nope, I agree with Sharon. What did Sharon say? Don't eat all the stuff by Friday?
Have a slither
Have a
at the end of the day.
Have a slither. Do you have a pair of slithers? Oh, Sharon, thanks a lot, my dear friend. We're going to go, okay?
Okay.
Good to see you. Have a good weekend, and by God's grace, we'll see you next week. Now, folks, gone past time. Your inspirational word for today, the 4th day of December. This has to be one of my favorite Psalms of all time. Psalm 37, powerful. Verses 4 to 9. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. So, be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads only to evil. For those who are evil will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. Psalm 37, verses 4 to 9. Pilgrims, yips. On that note, let's see here. Ryan says, yes, Gigi, we can only trust in the Lord. John Franco says, now that I've found your broadcast, I look forward to it. Thank you, John, and please help us to spread the word. While we would love to have everybody on here, it's not for everybody. There's some who just can't take the stuff we talk about here. But there are others who learn, and more importantly, help us to learn. Sitting here every day is a lesson for me, pilgrims, a lesson. I don't sit here and profess to know it all at all. I may have my views, you have yours. I respect yours, respect mine. But thanks. Hope to share the word. Okay, so Margaret agrees with you. Joan Wellington says, thanks, Mr. George. Nice day to you. Ernesto's asking that you guys all have a blessed day. Okay, pilgrims, thanks a lot. By God's grace, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bonsoir.